the 94th Illinois FFA State Convention. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations? I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
Station by the door.
Your duties there.
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people, in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands, and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there.
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is the symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, who is stationed beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is the token of a new era in agriculture. If we shall follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Secretary will call a roll of members.
I'm happy to announce that the election session of the 94th Illinois FFA State Convention, there are 5,010 members and guests present, Mr. President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this, the election session of the 94th Illinois FFA State Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matter which may properly be presented. Good morning and welcome to the final business session of the 94th Illinois FFA State Convention. This morning is the peak of a year of hard work and dedication to Illinois FFA for 10 individuals. Today, we will have the honor of electing 5 individuals to serve our organization as major state officers for the upcoming year. If we work cooperatively and efficiently, today's process will run smoothly and we will successfully elect our 2022-2023 Illinois FFA State Officer team. Before we begin, we will identify what to do if you have questions or need help. First, you should talk to an FFA board member or delegate usher. If they are unable to answer the question, immediately get hold of an FFA staff member wearing a gold polo around. FFA board members, please wave right now so everybody can locate you. Stand up and wave. Those are the people to ask questions to. It is very important that all delegates stay for the entire session to cast their votes until election of all offices have taken place. However, if you must leave, please follow the following steps. First, wait until the election process is finished for the current office. Next, tell your section president that you need to leave and where you are heading. Finally, let the courtesy corps know what you are doing so you could be readmitted as a delegate. It is extremely important that all delegates understand the balloting procedure of how the voting process will take place. All voting will be done by secret ballot. Voting will be done through the Turning Technologies polling service, which will be accessed through your mobile device. At this time, please take out your mobile device and search ttpoll.com. To vote, simply pick one of the options available on the polling service. It is critical that you alert an FFA board member or delegate usher if there is any sort of problem. If you're experiencing a problem, a staff member will assist you. There will be a 1-minute period for you to cast your vote. If you make an error, you will be able to change your vote during the 1-minute balloting period by selecting another candidate or option on your mobile device. However, I would encourage you to choose wisely and cast your vote correctly the first time. When the voting period is closed, you will no longer be able to change your vote. Again, you will have 1 minute to cast your vote. It is not possible to cast more than one vote per ballot. A ballot not cast will be considered a spoiled ballot. If you have any questions, ask an FFA board member or a delegate usher. Thank you all for your cooperation. It is necessary that we perform a roll call of the voting delegates that are present or logged in to the voting system at this time. Before we begin voting, we will have a few practice questions to ensure that the system and devices are all working properly and complete an official roll call. Please turn your attention to the screens above and your electronic device right now for the practice questions. When the question appears, please cast your ballot for the sample question. Once everybody has submitted their response, we will announce the results for each vote. If you experience any issues with your device, ask an FFA board member or delegate usher. Test question number 1. What year in school are you? Please follow the instructions on the screen and your voting device and cast your vote now. Ten seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. Question number 2. What is your population demographic? In other words, where do you live? City, town, rural, or farm? Please follow the instructions on the screen and your voting device to cast a vote now. Question number 3. What crew committee sounds the most interesting to you? Advisor Retention Committee, Foundation Support Committee, Production Agriculture Committee, Promotional Media Committee, or Membership Engagement Committee? Ten seconds remain to vote. Please enjoy some convention music while we reset the voting slides now.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah, 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 yeah. Say you will. Say it right now, baby. Say you will. Come on, come on. Say you will. Say it better, yeah. Come on now. Say that you love me. Say that you need me. Say that you want me. You wanna please me. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. I still remember when you used to be 9 years old. Yeah, I was a fool for you from the bottom of my soul. Yeah, now that you've grown up, grown enough to know. Yeah, you wanna leave me. You wanna let me go. I want you to know. I said I want you to know right now. Hey, you've been good to me, baby. Better than I've been to myself. Hey, hey, and if you ever leave me, I don't want nobody else. Hey, hey, I said I want you to know. Hey, I said I want you to know right now. Yeah, hey, you know you make me wanna shout. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Come on now, come on now. Yeah, now wait a minute. I feel alright. Yeah. Now that I got my woman, I feel alright. Every time I think about you, you've been so good to me. You know you make me wanna lift my hands up and throw my hands back and kick my heels up and come on now. Take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. A little bit softer now, 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 a little bit softer now.
We will now restart the test voting slides. You will have 1 minute to answer each question. Question number 1. What year in school are you? Follow the instructions on the screen and your voting device to cast a vote now. Ten seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. Test question number 2. What is your population demographic? In other words, where do you live? City, town, rural, or farm? Follow the directions to cast a vote now. Ten seconds remaining to vote. Voting is now closed. Test question number 3. What crew committee sounds most interesting to you? Advisor Retention Committee, Foundation Support Committee, Production Agriculture Committee, Promotional Media Committee, or Membership Engagement Committee? Follow the directions to cast a vote now. Ten seconds remaining to vote. Voting is now closed. The final question will serve as our official roll call, so be sure your voting device is working properly and you cast your vote. Question number 4, which FFA district are you from? 10 seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. Madam Secretary, please tell us the number for a majority and 2/3 majority vote.
The delegate count is 477. A majority vote is 240, and a 2/3 majority vote is 318.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Now, before we begin the election process, there is one item of business to proceed, a proposed constitutional amendment. This amendment has been recommended by the Illinois FFA Board of Directors. The amendment, if passed, would effectively change the terminology of section to region. Therefore, the Illinois Association FFA would be made up of 25 regions. The term district would not change, so we would still have 5 districts, each separated into 5 regions apiece, with a total of 25 regions. The floor is now open for discussion. The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 8.
Emily Lesko, Section 8. I move to amend the Illinois FFA Constitution to change all terminology referring to the current 25 sections in the Illinois Association FFA to use the terminology of 25 regions.
Is there a second? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 18.
Michaela Learned, Section 18. I second this motion to change the word section into regions.
It has been moved and seconded to amend the Illinois FFA Constitution by changing the terminology from section to region. This motion is debatable and amendable and requires a 2/3 majority vote. Is there any discussion? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 8.
Emily Lesko, Section 8. This issue directly impacts the schools in my section because outside of Illinois agriculture education and FFA, the term Section 8 is an abbreviated term for a program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, referring to low-income housing. Oftentimes, terminology of Section 8 creates confusion for people outside of FFA when individuals or programs are identified as part of Section 8. When people have only heard Section 8 as a derogatory term, it can lead people to an improper impression on Illinois FFA. This association can have a negative connotation and negatively impact FFA members in my section. Similar to when Future Farmers of America was changed to the National FFA organization, this change in terminology will benefit people outside of Illinois FFA and help create a more inclusive and bias-free community. Thank you.
Is there any more discussion? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 19.
Dennis Willeen, Section 19 President. Delegates, we're at a position of great opportunity. This amendment, we should all vote no. In 1988, the Future Farmers of America changed its name to the National FFA Organization. And while this amendment helped create a more inclusive environment, it had many benefits, but it also had some negatives. It has been almost 20 years, and to this day, there is still much confusion as to what we are called by our supporters. And while, like I said, that amendment was for the better, I believe that this amendment will have the same negative change without the positive. I can speak on behalf of many of my fellow section presidents in saying that as delegates, we are stewards of the Illinois FFA, and it is our job to lead it where we think it is best. And we believe that the delegates should vote no on this amendment. Thank you.
Is there any more discussion? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 18.
Michaela Learned, Section 18 President. Members, delegates, I believe that we should vote yes towards this. As members, this organization has grown because of change. Women are able to now join the FFA because of many years ago, because we encouraged that change and it was voted. We are the future, and the future is constantly going to change, and this is something that can help Section 8. I encourage you all to vote yes for this change for the future.
Is there any more discussion? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 23.
Emma Wiseman, Section 23. While I believe that this will affect Section 8 greatly, I do not think that this is the only solution. I think that we should explore our options and look to educate the public rather than just take the first solution that falls into our lap. That is why I believe we should vote no and look for better solutions in the future. Thank you.
Is there any more discussion? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 9.
I want to know, has there been any thought put to what Region 8 could mean in other places? Before we make a decision to push forward with a name change, I don't want to be in the same position in 10 years where we're changing it back or to something different for the same reason. I also believe the name Section has been a milestone and a marker in our organization for a long, long time. I think we should stick with it. I really like it.
Is there any more discussion? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 8.
Emily Lesko, Section 8. I understand everybody's viewpoints on this subject, but unfortunately, this has been used as a negative connotation against members in my own section. I understand that this has been sectioned for many, many years, but as previously stated, the only way that we can create progression is by change. Unfortunately, not everybody likes change, but in the long run, this is going to be a great impact to our organization and our state. Thank you.
Is there any more discussion? Is there any more discussion? Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All those in favor, please cast your vote on the voting device for, in favor, or opposed to rename the Illinois FFA Constitution from section to region. Ten seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed.
The vote results are as follows: 44 in favor and 444 opposed.
The negative has it, and the motion fails. Next up, we have a very dedicated individual to hear from. Jayton, Lauren, Gracie, Kara, and I have had the absolute privilege to serve Illinois FFA this past individual with the individual we are about to hear from. It is crucial that we all listen closely to what she has to say, as she has served in all of our shoes and is wholeheartedly committed to serving the missions of agricultural education and FFA. Without further ado, please help me welcome to the podium the two-time state officer and lady in charge, Illinois FFA's Executive Secretary, Mrs. Mindy Bunselmeyer.
Good morning, Adam. Thank you. Good morning, delegates. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. Each year, you give me the opportunity to share some words with you and express my appreciation to not only you and your communities and your FFA chapters, but our staff. And I will start the same way as I have in previous years. FFA members, please help me in thanking our staff who put in countless hours and a ton of energy, not only in putting in this convention, but all FFA events throughout the year. So when I'm finished reading their names, please give them a huge round of applause. It doesn't just suffice to do it just with one power clap. So I want to thank Patty Davis, Jeanette Alote, John Edgar, Riley Duckworth, Tammy Yard, Luke Adams, and Kylie Shakel. They are not only our FFA Center staff, but summer interns, but they serve you, and you may not know how much they have a passion for serving you. And so at this time, I ask that you give them a round of applause. Thank you. They deserve that and so much more. But how about that 2021-22 state officer team? Let's give them a round of applause. Old $1 Million Smile Adam Loker and his teammates have put on an electric convention for you, and I'm so proud of them. One thing I want you to understand about our voting delegate process, it's one that you should be really proud of. You have power in your vote and in your voice. Each year, I encourage the delegates to seek and elect leaders that will serve you well and that will envision serving future generations of FFA members. And each year, you delegates deliver. This team, just like many of their predecessors, have served you exceptionally well. In 2020, you elected leaders who didn't get to finish out their year on this stage. In 2021, you had leaders that had to finish out their year in 3 locations, 3 cities, in the hot sun, and on a traveling stage. Both those teams knew how to adapt, adjust, and overcome. And then this year, you elected leaders that knew exactly what the needs of the organization were, and they've met you. They've met those needs with passion and purpose. No one knows what our organization needs more than you do as the delegates. Your vision for this next set of leaders is where the future of our organization will be. It will set the course for growth in our organization. And I'm not talking about growth in numbers, friends. I'm talking about growth in the impact the organization makes on you, your fellow members, and future members. In Adam and Jayton and Kara and Lauren and Gracie, you found leaders who served you selflessly, who were truly authentic, who served you with passion, who connected with members all over the state, who passionately uplift others, all the while thinking very intentionally with a strong mindset. If we make this change, or we make this tweak, or we adjust this one little thing, we can initiate new growth in our organization. I hope you notice the new things they have brought to you this year. I have, and I'm excited about the future that they have set course for this new team. Now, as your candidates are coming to the stage today, I ask that you listen to what they share and listen to how they share it. You are looking for leaders who are going to serve you well and meet the needs of the organization. We want leaders who are going to lead us with a heart for service, a mind for sharing perspectives, and a voice for all FFA members. Seek leaders who speak, but more importantly, leaders who listen. Leaders who listen to your thoughts, your opinions, and your perspectives. You have tremendous candidates on this stage today. The selection committee outdid themselves when they did this job. These candidates have the skill set, the passion, the heart for service. You have a tough job, and each of these individuals will come together, and you'll find 5 of them to make a great team. I commend them for their heart and desire to serve. I implore you to do your job and seek candidates that will serve Illinois FFA into the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Bunselmeyer, for your guidance. We would also like to again give a sincere thank you to all the FFA Center staff who have helped put on this convention. Let's give them a round of applause. We are about to begin one of the most important, nerve-wracking, and exciting activities of the entire convention: the election of the 2022-2023 Illinois FFA Major State Officer Team. Your decisions this morning will change the lives of 10 outstanding individuals and shape the future of the Illinois FFA. So be sure to vote in the best interest of our state association. The individuals you select this morning will take an entire year to devote their lives to Illinois FFA and agricultural education. Exercise your vote carefully, wisely, and honestly. To see more information on each candidate, refer to the candidate resume book that was shared electronically. Remember, there is no perfect state officer or state officer team, but you should make the decision that will best benefit our state association as a whole. Delegates, please listen carefully to each candidate's remarks and give them your full attention and respect. Delegates may vote for one candidate and one candidate only per ballot. In between speeches, from the time the candidates leave the stage, they will be given a minimum of 10 minutes in the holding area before they will be brought back to the backstage area for results. I would also like to remind the candidates that they must remain on stage. You are not allowed to go down the stairs. Each candidate is allowed a 3-minute maximum time for their first speech, which will begin when the candidate begins speaking. If the candidate exceeds those 3 minutes, the microphone will be shut off. I will stand at 2 minutes and 30 seconds and walk forward when there are only 10 seconds remaining. Ushers, please close the doors to the convention hall and do not allow anyone to leave during the candidates' speeches. And now, without further ado, please help me welcome to the stage each candidate. The candidates for Illinois FFA State President. Our first candidate is Rachel Hood.
Fourth, 2022, the United States Olympic Committee named a team of 224 athletes, including 44 aerial skiers that competed in this year's Winter Olympics. Olympic aerial skiers start their jump 200 feet above ground, exploding off of a 71-degree ramp at 40 miles per hour. If they can do that, then surely a girl like me can make my way down a beginner slope at an average Midwestern ski resort. Or at least, that's what I told myself, standing at the top of the slope I was about to attempt for the first time. As I went plunging down the slope, I was blazing past people left and right with speeds topping 20 miles per hour and increasing rapidly. Eventually, I ended my run crashing into a fellow skier at the bottom of the slope. It's safe to say my first trip down the slope was not ideal. However, I told myself in order to enjoy our time at the resort, I was going to have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And when I tried the slope again, it was a success. The United States team felt a similar pride when they came home from this year's Winter Olympics with 25 medals, including gold, silver, and bronze. Those medals signify that those athletes were successful. However, we don't know the uncomfortable situations they encountered to reach their achievements. The Olympic medals are similar to the pins we wear on our FFA jackets. FFA members, I want you to take a moment and look down at the pins on your jacket. Our pins signify the ways we step out of our comfort zones and face unfavorable scenarios. Whether it be running for an officer position or competing in your first CDE, the experiences you had while achieving those pins undoubtedly caused you to step out of your comfort zone. Now, think about the victory that you felt when your discomforts led you to your biggest accomplishments and growth in your skills. Even though you may have accomplished many things, are there still heights yet for you to achieve? I may not be an Olympic athlete, but I can assure you I am ready to take the next step and help you reach your greatest potential in the FFA. Illinois FFA members, the road ahead is so much like a ski slope, with hills and valleys, patches of ice, and moments when we are smooth sailing. As state president, I plan to continue the legacy of initiating opportunities for FFA members. Opportunities to connect our members to agriculture, opportunities to explore the diversity of our organization, and opportunities to get comfortable being uncomfortable. My dedication, values, and my passion for agriculture will allow me to lead our organization to continue to initiate its greatest potential. Illinois FFA, allow me, Rachel Hood, to serve as your next state president, and we can conquer the uncomfortable together. Thank you.
Our second candidate is Elon Bader.
Elon, you are not normal. I hear this quite a lot from my advisor, Mr. Belusco. I remember a specific time that I showed up to the forestry CDE wearing, of all things, a fanny pack. Now I'm haunted by a framed picture in my ag room of me wearing said fanny pack holding a Pulaski axe. Countless of times, he has called me interesting and one of a kind. My entire FFA chapter usually joins in and says there is only one Elon Bader. And you know, they're right. I am not what some consider normal. Even my name isn't normal. However, in the FFA, I found that not being normal is more common than I thought. In the national FFA, about 60% of FFA members live in rural farm areas. Like many of you, I fall into the other 40%. I grew up on the main street of an average-sized town in the middle of Illinois. At county fairs, I wasn't the FFA member showing livestock. I was the county fair queen, handing out ribbons to the livestock kids. As a freshman, I did not start out with all of my friends being an FFA with me. Instead, FFA is where I found my best friends. People were often confused as to why I love this organization so deeply, considering I wasn't from a farm. But what is the normal FFA member anyway? Less than 2% of the US population are farmers or ranchers. But 100% of us are agricultural consumers. Each and every one of us have some connection to agriculture, regardless of where we call home. FFA members, we can all think of a time where we have felt out of the norm in our lives or even in FFA. We are all unique in our own way, but when we zip up these jackets, we are all FFA members who value agriculture, embrace our individuality, and cherish the tradition of our organization without leaving behind our uniqueness. Illinois FFA isn't just your normal organization filled with normal members. We are all something special. Maybe your specialty is judging livestock, public speaking, or the agri-science fair. Maybe you're an officer, part of the FFA band or chorus, or always ready to help your chapter. Regardless of what your specialty is, you are still a key part of the over 20,000 outstanding FFA members in this state. Illinois FFA, we are not normal, and that is a good thing. Our uniqueness is what makes our organization great. As your next state president, I will work tirelessly to make sure all of our members find their strengths so we can continue to initiate growth in Illinois FFA. Let's make Illinois FFA greater. Vote Elon Bader as your state president.
Our third candidate is Derek Sample.
Howdy there, Illinois FFA. My name is Derek Sample. I'm from the Cesar-Valier FFA chapter down in section 21. Right now, I need to talk to each of you about something very important: mullets. Now, whether you love them or you hate them, you have to admit that the mullet is an iconic hairstyle. And I might be just a little bit biased, but I happen to think that it is the best hairstyle. But what makes a mullet a mullet? The answer to that question is simple. Two things make a mullet: business in the front and party in the back. But the perfect mullet has to have the perfect ratio of business and party. A mullet with too much business, it turns into just another summer haircut like we've all had at some point. A mullet with too much party just turns into a haircut like somebody in a rock band might wear. Now, there's nothing wrong with either of these haircuts, but they're just not the perfect mullet that I like to see. FFA is the exact same way. If our organization focuses too much on business, let's face it, it could get boring. And nobody wants to join a boring organization. If we focus too much on party, we could lose our organization's value and our purpose. Only when business and party are perfectly mixed together is our organization best suited to fulfill our purpose. Now, my mullet could probably use just a little bit of perfecting, but I can assure you that I am more than ready to take care of the mullet that is Illinois FFA as a major state officer. So remember, vote Derek Sample, the man with the mullet, for your 2022-2023 Illinois FFA State President. Thank you.
Our fourth candidate is Kate Colgan.
What's one achievement you've made that you worked really, really hard for? Maybe it was one you were recognized on the stage for this past week, at a school awards assembly or sports banquet. Imagine that you just achieved it and it was your time to be recognized. I was in that exact scenario about a year ago at the Western Illinois Throwdown. There was a red carpet rolled across the show ring, and all I had to do was walk across it. The announcer was about to tell the crowd some fun facts about me, the animal I was exhibiting, and where I was from. The announcer called my name, and it was time to go. I went right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. I made it to the center of the show ring and quite literally face planted into the red carpet and the wood chips. All I had to do was walk across the show ring with a smile on my face, and instead I stumbled in front of hundreds of people. My outlook for the day immediately went from on top of the world to embarrassed in seconds. It wasn't until I looked up and saw the smiling faces of my friends that had advanced the show alongside me that I realized everything was going to be just fine. I got up, dusted myself off, and finally made it to the other end of the show ring. There, I was greeted with hugs, high fives, and encouraging words. Over the next few months, I finally realized the true meaning and value behind the word uplift. In that situation, I had to physically lift myself up off the ground. My friends were the ones who lifted up my mindset and showed me the value in encouraging supporters. When we fall, we find ourselves feeling pretty vulnerable. It's an uncomfortable place to be. With the right support group, we don't have to be in that uncomfortable situation for long. Our friends, family, fellow FFA members, and everyday people help us out when we need it. As FFA members, we turn to our officer teams to be some of our biggest supporters. They're the ones encouraging us to apply for an award, try out for a CDE, or even attend this convention today. I can remember it was my chapter vice president who encouraged me to attend the 212 Ground Zero Conference, which set me up for a rewarding FFA career. From this very moment until 1 year from now, at the 95th Illinois FFA Convention, we as high school students, athletes, FFA members, and everyday people will experience so many new things. Throughout this next year, we will need a strong support system and helping hand in times of need, just like those ringside friends were for me. Illinois FFA, if elected to be your state president, I will do just that, helping you celebrate your achievements and learn from your mistakes. Illinois FFA, my name is Kate Colgan, and it would be an honor to serve as your next state president. Thank you.
Our fifth candidate is Juliana Berg.
Imagine, you wake up in the middle of the night, cold and shivering. You're in a tent. A pool of water has formed at your feet, and your friend is practically swimming in it. The storm outside pounds down like a gavel at the start of an FFA meeting. This camping experience was supposed to be perfect. After all, it was my FFA chapter officer retreat. However, it was far from it as we grabbed everything we could carry, threw it into my car, and slept there for the night. I remember being so frustrated in that moment. The funny thing is, that's one of my favorite FFA memories. Yes, we were soaking wet. Yes, we were running on almost no sleep. But when your tent floods, the rain never lets up, and you cram as many people and things into your car as you can, all you can do is laugh.
We all encounter moments in life with the same thoughts of frustration over what was supposed to be planned or executed perfectly. During that camping trip, Mother Nature was throwing everything she had our way, but rather than reacting in a manner of defeat, we persisted. We chose to create our own sunshine by holding competitions to see how fast we could fill up a bottle with rainwater. By using the rain to our advantage and changing our perspectives, we turned our day into a great day. Illinois FFA, there's no doubt that we will continue to encounter experiences where expectations don't become reality. Now, I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but what I am saying is that I'm committed to making your time in the Blue Jacket one that you will never forget. I am prepared to step up and work with each and every one of you as we challenge each other to showcase our strengths and seek out the perspectives of others. During this year, I promise that I will not let things that are out of my control define what experiences you gain or what success you earn. Life will always bring rain, but I promise to react with perseverance, passion, and perspective so that we can turn any day into a great day. Illinois FFA is swimming with amazing members and incredible opportunities. So, when unexpected problems rain down and your day gets clouded, call on me, Juliana Berg, to turn your day into a great day as your Illinois FFA State President. Thank you.
Our sixth candidate is Elena Alleman.
Why? One word that is asked so much throughout our lives. We repeat the simple question over and over when we are young to annoy our parents, and use it to question different issues till we are old and gray. After asking yourself this question for so long, your why eventually develops from a three-letter word to a statement of purpose that showcases the lifestyle you live and the legacy you leave. Some of our country's most famous leaders use their why as a platform for success. Think about where our world would be without the inspiration of Michael Jordan to give 110%, or the encouragement of Elon Musk to extend life outside of this universe, or the leadership of our state officers this year as they use their why to encourage us to initiate our talents in the FFA. As the youngest of three siblings, I have learned a lot from my two older brothers. They're used to answering my questions and satisfying my curious personality. 4 years ago, I asked my older brother Ian the question, "What advice do you have for me as I enter my freshman year of high school?" He answered, "Join the FFA and try everything." It was no surprise to him that I followed up his answer with, "Why?" He responded, "The FFA will prepare you better for your future than any other organization, and you don't know your potential until you try." That one why answer led me on this extraordinary journey that has brought me here today. FFA members, think about your journey in the FFA, the experiences you have had, and the memories you have made. More importantly, think about the impact that this organization has made on you. It wasn't until this year, serving as Section 4 president, when I was asked why I wanted to be in this leadership role, that made me realize my true purpose. I want to give back to this organization and help continue to grow the next generation of leaders. My why is you, the Illinois FFA. Over 23,000 members make up our association. It is because of this blue jacket that I've grown as a leader, an individual, and an advocate for agriculture. So, why not elect me, Elena Alleman, as your next Illinois FFA State President, and together we will find your why. Thank you.
Our seventh candidate is Levi Meyerhofer.
Right before a September 2019 volleyball match, I scanned the gym floor, adjusted my headset, clicked stream, and began play-by-play on the first ever Seneca High School athletics broadcast. At the beginning of my junior year, my school's tech department approached me and asked if I would be interested in helping them start a new streaming service. They were just looking for one man to work one camera. But I was interested in doing more and providing commentary. Now let me tell you something about that first broadcast I did. It was exceptionally bad, awful, horrendous. Luckily, I knew that it was just practice and it was a private link. It wasn't live for anyone to see. Except it was, because when we created the stream, we forgot to set it to private, and so that day was the birth of Irish Live. Over the next few weeks, I kept calling the broadcasts and assembled a team because I was interested in doing more. Now, then we came up on the year of uncertainty, and online broadcasts quickly became a necessity. While other schools were scrambling to get their basic services ready, we were prepared. And with online audiences growing because of limited fan attendance, we were able to do more and implement new, fun, and informative segments to our broadcasts, including our ag segment, the Irish Live Farm Report. At the end of my senior year, I was elected section president, which allowed me to go to college closer to home, and that allowed me to do more by continuing to call the broadcasts, while also bringing on unique guests and assembling the team and getting them ready for the next year. Irish Live broadcasting is now a staple at my former high school, but just 3 years ago, it was only supposed to be one man on one camera. I took what probably should have been a small task and turned it into a service which people across the country have enjoyed. I helped pioneer a program that gets students not only comfortable with, but pretty excited about public speaking and broadcasting. Illinois FFA, I want to do more. I want to do more to connect with you by giving you the FFA play-by-play this year. I want to do more by coming up with new and innovative ways to learn and grow. I want to do more by going above and beyond for this organization, which we all love, and I want to do more for you as your next state FFA president. As I end every broadcast, my name is Levi Meyerhofer, and this is Hoff, signing off. Thank you.
Our 8th candidate is Allison Aves.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. By raise of hands, how many of you would call yourselves morning people? Okay. Now, how many of you would say you definitely are not? All right. I would call myself a morning person, although sometimes it takes a loud alarm clock and a little nudging. On one such morning, I remember the blare of my alarm clock. I sat up groggily, trudged down the stairs, threw on my coveralls, and headed out for chores. As I began setting up the milk house, I heard a noise that seemed familiar, though I just could not put my finger on what it was. I shrugged it off and kept going until I walked out the creaking back door, looked out to the pasture to see a bellowing cow in the midst of labor. I grabbed some twine off of a hook in the barn, ran out to the pasture to find the cow lying on her side with 2 small hooves protruding from her back end. I carefully tied my twine around the calf's delicate back hooves and began to tug. I tugged and I huffed, but I just could not get it. I began to wonder if the calf was going to make it when all of a sudden my dad and brother were with me, and together, with one final pull, the calf was born. I wiped the slop off of the calf's nose and looked up to see the beautiful pinks, oranges, and yellows of the morning sunrise. I looked back down at the calf to see it standing for the first time on shaky legs. And it was in that moment that I knew I was a morning person. It was in that moment I knew it was worth the effort to rise. Calves waste no time. They almost immediately stand and absorb the world around them as if they know they need to make every second of this life count. In stark contrast to this, we as humans oftentimes trudge into opportunities as if it is a burden to absorb the world around us. I know that every single one of you before me today has the knowledge, passion, and vision to stand and become the person you are meant to be, to make every moment of this life meaningful, and to take advantage of every opportunity. But will you? Or will you ignore the call of the blaring alarm clock calling for you to stand, rise, and become the person you are meant to be? Together, morning people or not, I believe that we can stand and rise to the call of that alarm clock and pursue every opportunity. And I would be honored to pursue that inspiring task with you over 20,000 Illinois FFA members. Illinois FFA, elect me, Allison Aves, to stand and rise with you as your 2022-2023 Illinois Association FFA State President. Thank you.
Our ninth candidate is Haley Bodie.
For the first half of your life, you're a cowboy. Then you lead the Rough Riders to war in Cuba. Not to mention, somewhere in between there, you win a Nobel Peace Prize. Then you go on a South African excursion just because you feel like it, and you invent the Panama Canal. Oh, and to top it all off, you serve as a United States president for not one, but 2 consecutive terms. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds crazy, but this is exactly how Mr. Teddy Roosevelt did what he could with what he had, where he was. I believe that our success can be divided into those 3 categories. What you can. Now, the what you can looks different for everybody. For a production ag kid, this could be sitting in the tractor during all hours of harvest season, or making sure everything gets planted in the spring. For a livestock kid, this could be washing out their steer for the next show, or making sure their herd gets fed every morning before they go to school. But for an FFA kid like you and me, something as simple as showing up to this here convention. What you have. We are given so many different opportunities in our life, but especially in our organization that is FFA. Whether it's the opportunity to attend a new conference or meet new people or compete in a new event. It is so important that we take advantage of those opportunities because they allow us to find our own individual success. Where you are. No matter where you are in the world, you have a place within agriculture. It's just your job and my job to figure out what that place is. A show ring, your local high school's science lab, or something as close to home as your own family's farm, all have their own assets that allow you to do what you can, where you are. The National FFA organization shows us what we can do with all of the opportunities we have, no matter where we are in the world. A state officer's job is to make sure that they serve our organization to their best of their abilities to make sure each individual finds their own success. Illinois FFA, whether we are Rough Riders in the war, building the Panama Canal, or going on a South African excursion, it is so important that we do the same. I hope to impress you with my actions and service that I can offer to our organization over this next year, because I want to do what I can with what I have, no matter where I am in the state of Illinois. So elect me, Haley Bodie, as your 2022-2023 Illinois Association FFA State President. Thank you.
Our 10th candidate is Maxwell Berry.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. Believe it or not, but the convention hall has just been turned into a time machine, and we're gonna take a trip to 2009. So buckle up, and here we go. If you look on your left, Jason Aldean has just released the hit song Big Green Tractor. And to your right, Disney is releasing movies like High School Musical 3 and Up. But hold on, because our destination, a small little farmhouse 4 miles outside of my hometown of Monroe, Illinois, is just up ahead. And here we are. In 2009, I was spending Labor Day weekend with my siblings and grandparents, and we were racing across my grandparents' property on a go-kart. Now, keep in mind, this go-kart only had 2 seats, but my siblings and I were determined to fit all 4 of us on it. So, in the driver's seat, we had my older sister driving, with my little brother and me sandwiched between her and my other older sister. My two sisters decide to get out of the go-kart and switch seats, and my little brother, who was 4 at the time, slides into the driver's seat and slams on the gas pedal. As we start flying across the yard, we're going what feels like Mach speed, till we weren't. You see, I had decided to grab the steering wheel, and I steered us right into a tree. What started as an innocent day with my siblings ended with me and my little brother in the hospital. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Max, why didn't you pull the emergency brake or turn off the go-kart? I'd answer this by saying I did what I thought was best. We go through life making decisions based on the information that we have. When we go to make a decision, we'd like to know every possible thing we can about that situation. For me personally, I like to go find more information to make me more knowledgeable about whatever I have to decide on. Whether it be what shoes to wear, how I'm gonna cut my hair, or how to get out of a dangerous situation. We make these decisions based on where we are, who we're with, and what we know up to that point. I still look back on my decision to grab that steering wheel, and with where I was, who I was with, and what I knew up to that point, it was the best decision I could have made. This year will be filled with tough decisions, but I believe I can help guide our organization to find solutions that will benefit all FFA members. I will work hard to make sure all FFA members are seen, heard, and have the ability to become knowledgeable about those decisions. Illinois FFA, if you elect me, Max Bilberry, to be your 2022-2023 Illinois Association FFA State President, I'll steer us to whatever goals we can achieve. Thank you.
Let's give all of our candidates one more round of applause as our final candidate exits the stage. We will now complete a test vote to update our roll call. Please follow the directions on your screen and on your voting device to take a vote for the question. Which FFA district are you from? Ten seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. It is now time to elect the 2022-2023 Illinois Association FFA State President. All delegates must be in their seats. Late delegates will be allowed in their seats between the elections of each office. The ushers have closed delegate seatings, and the state staff are here to ensure that all rules are followed. Madam Secretary, please tell us the number for a majority and a 2/3 majority vote.
The delegate count is 450. A majority vote is 226, and a 2/3 vote is 300.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please read the list of qualified candidates for the office of State FFA President that have met the rules and policies established by the Illinois Association FFA as they appear on the ballot.
The qualified candidates for state FFA president as they appear on the ballot are Rachel Hood, Elon Bader, Derek Sample, Kate Colgan, Juliana Berg, Elena Alleman, Levi Meyerhofer, Allison Aves, Haley Bodie, and Maxwell Berry.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. At this time, look at the names on the screens, then vote on your mobile device for the candidate that you wish to be elected as state president. Ten seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. As we elect the leaders that will initiate growth in our organization, it is important to recognize those individuals of the past that have taken our organization to new heights and shaped it into what it is today. These special individuals have provided successful leadership to Illinois FFA over the past 94 years. Throughout the election process, we will be recognizing these instrumental leaders. All of these individuals were given the wonderful opportunity by you, the members, to serve as state officers for the Illinois FFA. Throughout their year of service to this organization, they gave speeches, facilitated workshops, worked with members all over the state, and relentlessly promoted agriculture education and the FFA. These leaders of our past have played a significant role in laying the foundation for the future leaders of our organization. Our past state officers deserve recognition for all their achievement during their year of service. On behalf of the more than 23,000 members, let's give these leaders a round of applause as they are recognized. Those celebrating 5-year anniversaries as officer teams will introduce themselves, beginning with the most recent teams. Please give them a power clap as they do so.
Would all legacy teams and teams 1 through 5 state officer teams please report backstage? Thank you.
One for the money, two for the show, three to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoe. You can knock me down, step in my face, slander my name all over the place. Do anything that you want to do, but honey, lay off of my shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoe. Yeah. You can burn my house, steal my car.
It is now time to return back to our duty this morning, our state officer elections. In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority has been reached. After viewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 5 candidates and drop the bottom 5 candidates. The chair would now entertain a motion. Remember to raise your section number sign and please proceed to the nearest microphone. When recognized, state your first and last name as well as your chapter before stating a motion. The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 1.
Ross Stabenow, Section 1. I move to accept the chair's recommendation of dropping the bottom 5 candidates.
Thank you. Is there a second? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 23.
Kevin Hyder, Section 23, and I second the motion.
Thank you. It is moved and seconded to drop the bottom 5 candidates and keep the top 5 candidates. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we shall now proceed to vote. All in favor of keeping the top 5 candidates and dropping the bottom 5 candidates for State FFA President, please say aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Madam Secretary, please read the names of the candidates we will now be voting on for State President.
The qualified candidates for State FFA President as they appear on the ballot are Rachel Hood, Derek Sample, Levi Meyerhofer, Allison Aves, and Haley Bodie.
Thank you. Again, please look at the screens for the names of the candidates. Then please follow the directions on the screen and on your mobile device to vote for the candidate who you wish to see elected to the office of State President. 10 seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. Let's turn our attention back to the past state officer recognition.
Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance now.
It is now time to turn our attention back to our duty this morning, the election of the Illinois FFA State President. In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority has been reached. After viewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the bottom 2 candidates. The chair would now entertain a motion. Remember to raise your section number sign and proceed to the nearest microphone. The chair recognizes the delegate from section 15.
Riley Kessler, Section 15. I move to keep the top 3 and drop the bottom 2.
Thank you. Is there a second? The chair recognizes the delegate from section 11.
Ryle Duke, Unity Minden, and I second that motion.
Thank you. It is moved and seconded to keep the top 3 candidates and drop the bottom 2. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we shall now proceed to vote. All in favor of keeping the top 3 candidates and dropping the bottom 2, please say aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Madam Secretary, please read the names of the candidates we will be voting on for State President.
The qualified candidates for state FFA president as they appear on the ballot are Rachel Hood, Derek Sample, and Levi Meyerhofer.
Thank you. Again, please look at the screens for the names of the candidates, then follow the directions on your voting device to cast a vote for the candidate who you wish to see elected as state president. The voting slides have been reset, and we must proceed to take a vote on the office of President. Madam Secretary, please read the candidates who we will be voting on.
The qualified candidates for state FFA president as they appear on the ballot are Rachel Hood, Derek Sample, and Levi Meyerhofer.
Please follow the directions and take a vote now. Voting is now closed. Now let's turn our attention back to the past state officer recognition.
Heart is a balloon, shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck, and the reason that you had to care, the traffic is stuck, and you're not moving anywhere. You thought you found a friend to take you out of this place, someone you could lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Shoes on, get up in the mood, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of LeBron. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea and I'll get my ping pong. This is dead heavy, can't hit the baseball.
It is now time to return our attention back to our duty this morning, the election of the major state officers. In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority has been reached. Madam Secretary, please read the list of candidates who we will now be voting on for the office of State President.
The qualified candidates, as they appear on the ballot for State FFA President, are Rachel Hood and Derek Sample.
Thank you. Again, please look at the screens for the names of the candidates and proceed to vote on your mobile device for the officer who you would like to see, for the candidate who you would like to see elected to the office of State President. Voting is now closed. We'll now proceed to recognize our past state officers. Be sure to give them a round of applause as they cross the stage. And as we are waiting on the election results, we will be listening to some general convention music. Would my fellow officers please join me on stage? In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has been reached for the office of president. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for. FFA members and guests, your 2022-2023 Illinois Association FFA State President is Rachel Hood!
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. First off, thank you. Thank you so much. This organization means so much to me, and it has gotten me to a place I never thought I would be in my life. When I was a kid, I was super anxious. Like, I couldn't play the piano in front of 10 people at the smallest church in America, and it made me super anxious. And I got out on the stage today and spoke because of what this organization has done for me. And I can't wait to see what it will do for all of you. I just want to say thank you to my parents and my sister, who's my mentor. They mean everything to me. They have shown me what a leader is, and they have supported me. It's not easy having somebody be a candidate in your family. They have a lot of things they have to do, and they have done it with grace and with love. I just can't even believe I'm up here right now. Oh my gosh. I also want to say the candidates that are backstage, they're doing an amazing job, and none of us could even imagine this moment, and I'm just so proud of all of them, and I wish them the best of luck. And for my section presidents out there, I don't even know what to do with my hands. I'm supposed to talk for a long time. I don't know what else to say. I guess I will say thank you to the rest of my family that is here. You guys, I love you too. You guys mean so much to me, and your support is just never ending, and I love you guys, and I wouldn't be here without you, as well as the community of Rushville. You guys have shown me how to be a leader. And I can't not thank the Rushville Industry FFA chapter and my advisor, Miss Cindy Ryden. You guys are also the reason why I'm here today. I love you guys so much. I love all of Section 11 and all of Illinois FFA. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Would all the candidates please assemble backstage? I will remind you that all candidates for the office of president will automatically be nominated for vice president and the succeeding offices unless otherwise specified. Madam Secretary, please read the list of the qualified candidates for vice president.
The qualified candidates for State FFA Vice President as they appear on the ballot are Alon Bader, Derek Sample, Kate Colgan, Juliana Berg, Elena Alleman, Levi Meyerhofer, Allison Aves, Haley Bodie, and Maxwell Berry.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Candidates who have run for the previous office will have an opportunity to give 1-minute remarks for Vice President. For the 1-minute remarks, I will stand at 30 seconds and walk forward with 10 seconds remaining. The microphone will be cut off when the timer reaches 1 minute. Now please help me in welcoming to the stage our first candidate, Elon Bader.
What is one thing you never go anywhere without? Maybe you even keep it inside of your FFA jacket pocket. For me, that thing is my lip balm. Being a lover of all things bees and cosmetics, I was thrilled when Burt's Bees wanted to be a part of my pollinator-saving SAE project. My lip balm is there for me in every situation. I keep a lip balm in my jacket to remind me of my values and to always be thankful for all that FFA has given me. Illinois FFA, let me be your lip balm. I am ready to be helpful in every situation, comforting in hard times, and I will always be accessible as your next state vice president. FFA members, don't just put something meaningful in your pocket. Put me, Elon Bader, on the Illinois FFA State Officer Team.
Our next candidate is Derek Sample.
Scholar Bowl, my senior year, I was the team captain. Whenever I would show up to a Scholar Bowl meet, I would always look and act just a little bit different than everyone else. My attire consisted of jeans, boots, and a hat turned around backwards. Whenever I would introduce the Scholar Bowl team, I would always introduce myself as Derek, Rough Country Sample. The other team was always quick to giggle and think, man, this guy doesn't belong in a Scholar Bowl meet. But they were quickly caught off guard whenever I started answering questions. They saw just one part of me and thought they already knew who I was. On the outside, I may be just another good old boy, but I am also somebody who values knowledge, wisdom, and learning. As a major state officer, I'll be sure to bring my boots and my brains along with me. So when it comes time to buzz in for vice president, be sure that your vote is for Derek Sample. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Kate Colgan.
Peanut butter and jelly, Nemo and Dory, Adam and Jayton. Can you think of a more iconic duo than these examples? What about Rachel and Kate? Illinois FFA, you just elected an amazing leader to serve your organization this next year. Every great president needs a strong, supportive vice president who encourages everyone to do their very best. Illinois FFA, my name is Kate Colgan, and it would be an honor to serve as your next state vice president. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Juliana Berg.
Look around. We all have one thing in common. Our blue corduroy jackets. We are known for these jackets, and they unify past and present generations. However, that's only what meets the surface. Underneath the jacket lies each of our own unique personalities. Looking on the surface, most of you wouldn't know that I was a drumline captain or that I love pasta. Similar to an iceberg where you only see a small piece protruding from the water, many times we only see small pieces of who people truly are. I want to know what you love about FFA, but I also want to know your favorite hobbies and what you're most proud of. Illinois FFA, you have only seen a portion of the iceberg. Don't ice me out. Vote Juliana Berg as your Illinois FFA State Vice President. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Elena Alleman.
If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Growing up on a farm, I was taught to always close the gate behind you, never run up to an animal, and always listen to Dad, even if you think you have a better idea. These are lessons I've known my entire life, but for a lot of people, these are lessons they've never even heard of. It wasn't until I joined the FFA when I started looking at agriculture differently. This amazing organization made me realize that agriculture has something to offer everyone. I stand up here today overlooking a student body that covers so many unique background, experiences, and most importantly, perspectives. This year, serving as section president, my core value was relationships. If elected as your next state vice president, I promise to build relationships with every member I can, share my perspective, value others, and promote agriculture for greater change. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Levi Meyerhofer.
"9:05 p.m. Wind howls outside, rain pelts against the back door, and thunder roars in the distance. Then suddenly, bam! All the lights shut off, a loud thud hits the back door, and everyone in the basement huddles together, waiting for the storm to stop. This was the site at my farmstead on June 22nd, 2016, when an EF2 tornado ravaged our land, taking out storage sheds, grain bins, trees, vehicles, and an old windmill. But the three oldest buildings, a small chicken coop built in 1914, our barn from 1899, and our house built in 1882, took a few scrapes but emerged sturdy on their foundations. Illinois FFA, no matter how hard the wind blows, how loud the thunder roars, or how high the floodwaters rise, I'm confident that I, Levi Meyerhofer, will remain steadfast and lead resiliently through any storm that we may encounter this year as your next state vice president. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Allison Aves.
I don't know about all of you, but I always hear jingles playing on the radio. From Red Robin, yum, to We Are Farmers. I remember constantly hearing these jingles on the way to shows and fairs with my friends, siblings, and a trailer full of dairy cattle. And while I don't always remember some of the adventures we went on, or the first time I heard those jingles, I will always remember the joy, occasional frustration, and excitement we felt. People, moments, and jingles leave an impression on us. If you could choose how you left your impression on someone else, what would you leave? Elect me, Allison Aves, to serve as your state vice president, and I promise to leave you with a year you'll never forget. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Haley Bodie.
You know what I've realized recently? Life is awkward, and I mean really awkward. I realized this most recently when I was scrolling on my phone on Facebook and I stopped. My mom had reposted a picture of me from my freshman year of high school. Yeah, awkward. And then I started thinking about all of the awkward moments we encounter, like when you're walking through the grocery store and someone waves at you, but they weren't waving at you, they were waving at the person behind you. Awkward. Or when you're at a restaurant and the waiter brings your meal and they say, "Enjoy your meal," and you say, "Thanks, you too." You got it. Awkward. But the best part about those awkward moments is sometimes they turn into some of the most amazing memories. Illinois FFA, I want to continue to turn your awkward moments into amazing memories as your next state vice president. Thank you.
Our next candidate is Maxwell Berry.
If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. As FFA members, we will encounter many doors. We have the doors to our barns where we work with our animals. We have the door to the ag-room fridge, which we open as we grab a snack while we edit our record books. And we have the door to the bus, which closes as we go on our way to an FFA contest. Each door presents us the opportunity to reach our own potential and grants us the skills to help us build up our own doors that will lead to inevitable successes. We create these opportunities through our SAEs, CDs, and other events. Illinois FFA, we have learned to step out of our comfort zones, build up our own skills, and find even more doors to open. If you elect me, Maxwell Berry, to be your Illinois Association FFA State Vice President, I will strive to help you build and open your doors to success. Thank you.
Let's give all of our candidates a round of applause as the last candidate exits the stage. We will now take a practice vote to update the roll call. Please follow the directions on the screen and on your voting device to answer the question, which FFA district are you from?
Would all past state officer teams from the last 5 years and legacy teams please report backstage at this time? Thank you. Ten seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. Madam Secretary, do you have the number of delegates and the number needed for a majority vote?
The total delegate count is 427. A majority vote requires 215.
Thank you. Now we shall proceed to take a vote on the office the office of Vice President. Please refer to the screens above and take a vote for the candidate who you would like to be elected to the office of Vice President. Madam Secretary, please read the list of qualified candidates.
The names of qualified candidates for Illinois FFA State Vice President as they appear on the ballot are Elon Bader, Derek Sample, Kate Colgan, Juliana Berg, Elena Alleman, Levi Meyerhofer, Allison Aves, Haley Bodie, and Maxwell Berry.
Thank you. Please refer to the screens above and cast a vote for the candidate who you would like to see elected to the office of Vice President. 10 seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. While the results are being tabulated, let's listen to some convention music.
Now that she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain, reminds me that there's a time to change. Since the return of her stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June. But tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights all faded and that heaven is overrated? Tell me, did you fall for a shooting star? One without a permanent scar, and then you missed me while you were looking for yourself out there. Now that she's back from that soul vacation, tracing her way through the constellation. She checks out Mozart while she does chapel. Reminds me that there's room to grow. Now that she's back in the atmosphere, I'm afraid that she might think of me as plain old Jane Doe. Sorry about a man who was too afraid to fly, so we never did land. But tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet? Did you finally get the chance to dance along the light of day and head back to the Milky Way? But tell me, did Venus blow your mind? Was it everything you wanted to find? And then you missed me while you were looking for yourself out there. Can you imagine no love, fried deep fried chicken? Your best friend always sticking up for you. Even when I know you're wrong, can you imagine no first dance, freeze dried romance, 5-hour phone conversation, the best soy latte that you ever had in me? But tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet? Did you finally get the chance to dance along the light of day and head back toward the Milky Way? And tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights all faded and that heaven is overrated?
In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has not yet been reached for this office. We must continue to vote until a majority vote has been reached. After reviewing the votes, it is the chair's recommendation to keep the top 2 candidates and drop the bottom 7 candidates. The chair would now entertain a motion. Remember to raise your section number sign and proceed to the nearest microphone. The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 1.
Ross Stabenow, Section 1. I move to accept the chair's recommendation of dropping the bottom 7 candidates, keeping top 2.
Is there a second? The chair recognizes the delegate from Section 11.
Grace Pollitt, Section 11. I second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded to keep the top 2 candidates and drop the bottom 7. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we shall now proceed to vote. All those in favor of keeping the top 2 candidates and dropping the bottom 7 candidates, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the motion passes. Madam Secretary, please read the names of the candidates we will be voting on for the office of State Vice President.
The names of the qualified candidates for Illinois FFA State President as they appear on the ballot are Derek Sample and Levi Meyerhofer.
Thank you. We will now proceed to vote. Please follow the directions on your voting device to take a vote for the candidate who you would like to see elected to the office of State Vice President. Ten seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed, and Marco is not here, guys. We are now going to move on to recognizing some of our past state officers in the Illinois FFA, so be sure to make some noise for them as they come across the stage.
Good morning, everyone. How are we feeling today? Perfect. Well, good morning. My name is Lexi Miller, and we are the 2020-2021 Illinois FFA State Officer Team. I am currently studying agricultural education and horticulture and child and family services at Southern Illinois University Carbondale. We're so excited to be here today. And if you remember an outdoor convention, that was our team. That's our connection.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Molly Shemp, and I was the state vice president with these lovely ladies. I'm currently a senior studying ag education at the University of Illinois, and I'll be student teaching at Paxton Buckley Loda right back there. Nice to be back.
Hey, everybody. My name is Margaret Boston, and I'm currently at the University of Illinois with Molly and Emma studying agricultural and consumer economics with a concentration in finance and agribusiness.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Jordy Oliver, and I am from Vienna down south, and I served as your secretary last year. Right now, I am a proud Lakeland College Laker, and I'm studying ag transfer, and I hope to transfer to the University of Illinois to join some of my teammates to do ag communication and animal science. It's good to be back.
Hey y'all, my name is Emma Kuntz. I had the privilege to serve as the state treasurer on this team. I'm currently a student at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, studying agriculture and consumer economics too, but a concentration in public policy and law. So if you ever need an attorney someday, you know where to find me. Thank you all.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. You might recognize us from maybe Facebook or YouTube. My name is Gage Miller, and I served as the state president in 2019-2020, and I'm currently a student at the University of Illinois in the ALEC program.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. My name is Lane Harvey. I serve as your 2019-2020 Illinois FFA State Vice President. I recently purchased a home and reside in Mill Shoals, Illinois. And I'm currently working at Fairfield National Bank as a farm manager. So thank you all.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. My name is Brody McCormick, and I served as a 2019-2020 state reporter. I'm currently studying agriculture education at the University of Illinois, and I'm so excited to be back here in the Bank of Springfield Center. Thanks for having us.
Hey everybody, my name is Colin White. I served as 2019-2020 State Secretary.
I'm currently at Illinois College studying Ag Business and Economics, and super excited to be back here with everybody.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. My name is Emma Freebairn, and I served as the 2019-2020 Illinois FFA State Treasurer. I've just finished up 2 years at Lakeland College, and I'm transferring to Iowa State this fall, majoring in Ag Studies. Super excited to be back here in the Bank of Springfield Center with you all. Hope you're having an awesome convention.
Hello, Illinois FFA. We are the 2018-2019 team. My name is Eliza Petrie, and I served as Vice President our year. I'm currently senior at the University of Illinois studying agriculture education, and I'm glad to say I'll be student teaching at the Blue Ridge FFA chapter in Section 16 next year.
I am Miriam Hoffman. I served as the secretary on our team, and I will be going into my senior year at Southern Illinois University Carbondale studying agribusiness economics.
Good morning. My name is Taylor Hartke, and I just graduated from SIU in AgCom and will return for a graduate program here this fall. But I served as the state FFA treasurer that year. As for our other two teammates who are not able to be here with us, Sophia Horton served as the state president that year from the Fisher FFA chapter and is interning in Michigan. And then Shaylee Clinton is also absent because she is in Alaska for her internship, and she was our state FFA reporter. Thank you all so much, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your convention.
What's up, Illinois FFA? We are the 2017-2018 Illinois FFA State Officer Team. My name is Joseph Beartier, and I had the privilege of serving as the state president. Currently, I'm living in Toulon, Illinois, and next month I'll be starting my job as a sales manager for Frito-Lay.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. My name is Rob Jansen. I served as your state vice president. I graduated from Western Illinois University. I currently work for Simplot Grower Solutions as a salesman and crop consultant, as well as run Jansen Auctioneers. And in just a few short months, I get to call my best friend, Mrs. Skylar Jansen.
Good morning, friends. My name is Ryan Reverts. I had the honor to serve as your state FFA reporter. Upon graduating from SIU in 2021, I'm now back home farming part-time and working full-time, as well as a territory sales representative for a New Holland dealership in Northern Illinois.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dalton Painter. I served as the 2017-2018 Illinois FFA State Secretary. I am currently working at the MASH office and just recently got engaged to the lovely Harley Carlson. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Chase Clausen. I served as the state treasurer with these guys, originally from the Sycamore FFA chapter in Section 6. A year ago, graduated from the University of Illinois and currently live in Des Moines, Iowa, where I work for John Deere.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. My name is J.C. Campbell, and I served as the 2016-2017 Illinois FFA State President. I am now working for John Deere as a customer product support representative, and I'm also bringing warm regards from Seattle, Washington, from our teammate Corinne Strapp, who serves as our state secretary and works for Caterpillar as a territory manager.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. My name is Paxton Morris. I served as the 2016-2017 state vice president. I am currently the ag teacher and FFA advisor with Caleb Irwin at my home high school of El Dorado.
Hello, Illinois FFA. My name is Zach Becker. I hail from Amboy, Illinois originally. I served as our team's state reporter. I currently work for John Deere in Des Moines, Iowa.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. My name is Cody Seth. I served as your 2016-17 state treasurer. I went to high school at Indian Creek, and I am currently a terminal train master with BNSF Railway at Alliance, Nebraska. Thank you.
My fellow officers, please join me on stage. In the Illinois Association FFA, major state officers must be elected by a majority vote, and a majority vote has been reached for the office of Vice President.
And now, the second moment we've all been waiting for, your 2022-2023 State Vice President is Derek Sample!
Man, that's crazy, isn't it? So I just want to say a few thank yous. Thank you to my parents for always standing behind me, as well as my advisor, Mr. Ward, for always supporting me in whatever I did and pushing me to be the best version of myself. Thank you to my mentor for polishing me up just a little bit for this. I could use it, everybody knows, I think. And thank you to all the other advisors who have helped keep me in line over the years. I know it's no small job, so thank you, everybody. Thank you, Illinois FFA. I'm looking forward to a great year.
Would the candidates please assemble backstage? Madam Secretary, please read the names of the qualified candidates for the office of State FFA Reporter.
The names of the qualified candidates for Illinois FFA State Reporter as they appear on the ballot are Elon Bader, Kate Colgan, Juliana Berg, Elena Alleman, Levi Meyerhofer, Allison Aves, Ailey Bodie, and Maxwell Berry.
Thank you. Candidates who have run for the previous office will have an opportunity to give 1-minute remarks for reporter. For the 1-minute remarks, I will stand at 30 seconds and walk forward with 10 seconds remaining. The microphone will be cut off when the timer reaches 1 minute. Now, please help me in welcoming back to the stage our first candidate, Elon Bader.
Is this thing on? Oh, well, we don't need it anyway because FFA members, we all have something much more impactful. Our FFA jackets. In 1933, this jacket was originally created as a band uniform, but it was so popular that it impacted FFA everywhere. This jacket amplifies our voice on its own. This jacket gives us the ability to be heard and listened to, not just by other FFA members, but by the news and public officials. This jacket lets people know that we continue to believe in the future of agriculture. When we use our jacket as a microphone, we have the power to put change into our own hands. As your next state reporter, I will use my jacket to let every man, woman, and child know about the great works of our organization. Let's make Illinois FFA's voice greater. Vote Elon Bader as your state reporter.
The next candidate is Kate Colgan.
What's the most iconic picture from your childhood? It's safe to say mine was when I was in the kitchen with a long blonde wig, cosmetologist apron on, and a pair of fake scissors in my hand, cutting my sister's hair. My mom does hair part-time, and my sister and I wanted to be just like her at the mere ages of 8 and 5. My proud mom quickly snapped the photo, and it was soon posted everywhere and shown to countless friends and family members. Every time my sister and I look back at that photo today, a smile is brought to our faces and a good laugh is shared. After all, the moments we do remember are the ones that make up who we are today. Illinois FFA, my name is Kate Colgan, and it would be an honor to be given the opportunity to document our next year as Illinois FFA members as the state reporter. Thank you.
The next candidate is Juliana Berg.
We have all been there. Our alarms blaring, warm sheets surround us. We long to press the snooze button, and we do not want to get up. Growing up on a grain and livestock farm, knowing that I had animals that needed me and other chores awaiting gave getting up in the morning a purpose. Illinois FFA, I am motivated and determined to help you realize your purpose. I will dedicate every waking moment that I have to making Illinois FFA the best that it can be. I am ready to set my alarm clock on Illinois FFA time and wake up blaring and ready to go. Don't snooze on me. Vote Juliana Berg for your Illinois FFA State Reporter. Thank you.
The next candidate is Elena Alleman.
One of my favorite quotes is by the great Dr. Seuss. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Thankfully, our generation is equipped with the perfect tool to capture these moments. Snapchat. A feature on Snapchat that many love is memories. This allows you to capture some of life's most amazing moments in picture form. Throughout the week, I've been scrolling through my own memories on Snapchat, appreciating the amazing moments that have helped shape me into the person I am today. I think we can all agree if we look at life's most amazing moments, we're more than likely wearing this blue jacket. Illinois FFA, I'm ready to continue snapping memories as your next state reporter. So let's start a 365-day streak of service by electing me, Elena Alleman. Thank you.
The next candidate is Levi Meyerhofer.
There are 836 high schools in the state of Illinois, and I can name the mascot of every single one of them. This knowledge stems from a fascination I have with high school branding and logos, which also led me to realize that a lot of schools use the wrong logos for their opponents. To fix this problem, I contacted every school in the state and put together a website called hslogos.com that displays these accurate logos for anyone to see. Just like it's important for your high school to be properly represented, it's also important for the brand that we all share, the FFA emblem, to be properly represented too. So whether you're a Panther up in Section 1, an apple knocker in 24, a tiger in Section 10, or a pretzel right here in 14, vote for this former Fighting Irishman as your next state reporter, and I'll make sure that the FFA brand is represented in the best way possible. Thank you.
The next candidate is Allison Aves.
Living in northern Illinois, just 20 minutes from Wisconsin, sometimes my teammates claim I say things a little funny from time to time. Words like tag, beg, and flag to vote, go, and boat. And while sometimes this accent gives me away as being from the top of the state, I want to serve members all across it, from Section 1 to Section 25. Elect me, Allison Aves, to serve underneath your flag, and as your 2022-2023 Illinois Association of FFA State Reporter. Thank you.
The next candidate is Haley Bodie.
My grandma is the best storyteller in the world. My favorite part about her stories is that she could tell you a story today and then tell you the same story 2 months later, but it will not be the same story. I promise you that. But just like my grandma's stories, our FFA stories are constantly changing and evolving. If you look at your freshman year FFA story and how it evolves to your senior year FFA story, you see how much you change. You're almost writing your own book in your blue jacket. Illinois FFA, I want to continue to be a part of your story and help you write your own in the Illinois Association FFA. As your next state reporter, thank you.
The next candidate is Maxwell Derry.
Someone once said, photos are the pause button of life. When we think about this, it's true. Photos are those memories we won't forget. For me, I tend to look back on that photo of me trying on my blue jacket for the first time. I was so excited to start my journey in this FFA jacket. I was filled with energy and determination to do whatever I could. Illinois FFA, I challenge you to look back on your perfect moment and remember that day. See what inspired that photo and aspire to bring that moment for someone else. If you elect me, Maxwell Berry, to be your Illinois State FFA reporter, I will strive to capture your perfect moments that will live on forever. Thank you.
Let's give all of our candidates one more big round of applause. We shall now take a test vote to update the roll call. Please follow the instructions on the screen and on your voting device to vote for the question, which district are you from? Seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. Madam Secretary, would you please read the number of delegates and votes required to reach a majority?
The total delegate count is 440. A majority vote is 221.
Thank you. Now, using your voting device, please vote for the candidate who you would like to see elected to the office of State Reporter. Madam Secretary, could you please read the qualified candidates?
The names of the qualified candidates for Illinois FFA State Reporter as they appear on the ballot are Elon Bader, Kate Colgan, Juliana Berg, Elena Alleman, Levi Meyerhofer, Allison Aves, Haley Bodie, and Maxwell Berry.
We shall now proceed to vote. Please follow the instructions on your voting device and cast a vote for the candidate who you would like to see elected to the office of Illinois FFA Reporter. Ten seconds remain to vote. Voting is now closed. We shall now return to recognizing our past state officers. Let's give them a huge round of applause as they come across the stage.
Morning, Illinois FFA. My name is Jacob Meisner, and I was proud to serve as your 2011-2012 Illinois FFA State Secretary. Proud to celebrate 10 years since we were on this stage running convention, and it's hard to believe that it's been that long. They tell us that we're officially the legacy teams, so I guess that means that we're getting old. I bring greetings on behalf of my state officer teammates. Mike Shively was your president from the Paxton Buckley Loda chapter. Jim Tobin was your vice president from the Blue Ridge FFA chapter. Chris Steppig was reporter from Waterloo, and Clayton Carley was your state treasurer from the Cissna Park FFA chapter. It's great to be back in the convention center, and congratulations to all of you on a great year.
Good morning, Illinois FFA. My name is Rebecca Yandel West.